Alright, what's up everybody? The purpose of today's video is going to be sort of like an introduction video. An introduction to my channel, my ball python channel. I pretty much named the channel Fireballs because at some point in time when I start breeding, I'm hoping to breed nothing but fire. It wasn't easy to try to figure a name out in the first place. I struggled through a lot of different names, a lot of different topics, and it's tough trying to be original, you know? Especially when everybody has morphs or balls or pythons or constrictors. It's tough, you know, so... originally, I was going to take the name of my brother's channel. His YouTube channel name is Free Ball Constrictors. He's got a few videos up there. He bred a couple seasons, maybe 2 seasons. Until he had a back injury and he had to get out of breeding. So he's still around, still has his channel, but he hasn't been breeding for a couple years. So let me give you a little history of myself. Born and raised in Pennsylvania, on the eastern coast, I guess you can say. I'm not going to give my exact location, but eastern Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania is my home. I like it here. I like the change of the seasons. There's a lot of ball python breeders here. I live pretty close to Hamburg, Pennsylvania, where we have our reptile shows. I've been down to the Oaks, Pennsylvania show. Real good show. A little more history of myself. I mean, I've been into snakes ever since I was a kid. I was always growing up in the city. We would go to the abandoned lots, pick up some of the plywood and, you know, get under there and start digging up salamanders and, of course, garter snakes. That's what was around here in eastern Pennsylvania, in the city anyway. So I always had a fascination for snakes. When I was about 25 years old, I bought my first ball python. I actually bought my first snake at 25 years old. It took a while to get my first snake. Pretty much bought a ball python. Bought a second one. There was a moment when I was coming out of my apartment, going to my car, and I had my ball python wrapped around my wrist, and one of my neighbors saw me. He said, "Hey, you know, I'm into reptiles too." So he kind of took me into his house, showed me what he had. The guy had like a whole closet full of snakes and all kinds of reptiles inside. He was like a reptile hoarder inside the closet. But he pretty much introduced me to the reptile show. I went to my first reptile show. I believe it was 2005. My first Hamburg reptile show. Now back then, I specifically remember a vendor. If anybody knows the Hamburg reptile show, when you first walk in the front door of the building, boom, dead smack to the right, all the way to the end, that corner was always heavy with the ball pythons, and it still is. Except for the last show, it was because of COVID-19. It wasn't really packed at all. But I remember going over there at that show, and they had 3 big wooden crates, boom, 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 and inside was just ball pythons, normal ball pythons, you know. And I remember they had to have been imports to come in crates like that, and they were $10 a piece. And inside these crates, I was pulling out ball pythons that had heavy patterns, reduced patterns. Some had high yellows, some had oranges. It was just so many different colors of normal ball pythons that I didn't realize what was happening at that point in time. You know what I mean? With the ball pythons. I didn't realize that normals came in so many different varieties of colors, you know. And $10 a piece, you know, what I know now, back in those days, I should have spent at least $100 or $200 and just took as many different colors as I could. But I didn't know what was going on back in those days with the ball pythons and the morphs. You know, back then, basic morphs were very expensive, into the thousands of dollars, you know. So here we are, you know, 15 years later. It's 2021. I started getting back into the ball pythons again. I was laid off from work because of COVID-19 back in early 2020. I sat around and watched a lot of YouTube videos, specifically Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons, Predator BP, Blue Line Morphs, I want to give a shout out to him. He doesn't know me, but I watched a lot of his videos, and he's the reason why I'm doing this introduction video today. I feel it's important to do an introduction. So, getting back into the ball pythons again, watching these videos, I'm seeing a lot of morphs out there with colors that back in the days were just normal ball pythons, you know? And it really surprises me that people took time to notice that and put all these different colors together and make the morphs into what they are today. I mean, I got to congratulate all those big time breeders. Watching those videos, they really influenced me. So the one channel I want to really give credit to motivate me to start with my ball pythons, I know I already mentioned his name, you know, Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons. You know, like I said, when I first got laid off, I started watching a lot of YouTube videos on the ball pythons. I came across his videos first. I shouldn't say first, but his are the ones that stood out to me because some of the first videos of his that I seen were videos of him where he's at the shows. And, you know, the aura he has around him is motivating. You know, it's impressive to me. It's something I've never seen before in the ball python hobby or reptile period. It's just when he's at them shows and he has all these people around him, he forms a little clique around him, you know, and it's just the atmosphere he keeps around him just reminded me of the atmosphere of how things were back in the days when I was in ball pythons. And I knew right then and there that I wanted to be a part of that again. I wanted to be a part of that again, definitely. And that's what really motivated me to get started. Like, I want to get back into going to the shows, seeing people. There's people that I haven't seen for 15 years, you know. I've known a lot of crazy people in this reptile hobby. Some good people and some pretty bad people, you know. But, you know, you meet a whole lot of crazy people. And it's just, I want to get back into the hobby again, just to surround myself with really good people, you know. And be a part of something good, you know. Watching those videos, they really influenced me. So I started purchasing some snakes. Nothing major as far as major morphs, expensive morphs. But I bought some stuff within the last month or so at the end of December of 2020 and into January of 2021. So this video is actually recorded in February. Today's February 2nd. I felt like I needed to do this before I put my other videos out. There's videos I already have pre-recorded back in January that is going to be coming after this. That's going to show you a progress of me getting my first snakes, how I had everything set up, into building my rack, and getting some new snakes. It's just, I really wanted to make this introduction because I want everybody to see my progress from beginning, you know. I'm hoping to produce some nice morphs one day, really fire stuff. One thing I want to mention too is that I don't plan on just keeping myself in ball pythons, even though the ball pythons will be my main thing. I have a really big interest in Western hognose snakes. The problem with those snakes, the ones that are really nice, like really worth buying, they're pretty expensive, you know. So I'm hoping at some point, maybe if I get to that point with my ball pythons where I'm buying and selling and trading snakes, maybe I can start dabbling into the Western hognose snakes, you know. Also, another one, I really am into tarantulas. I've owned a lot of tarantulas over the years. I want to give credit to Joe's Tarantulas up in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He sold me a lot of tarantulas, and I'm weird. I get into my moods where I'm doing my things inside, which is usually wintertime. Then I get into my moods where I'm doing things outside, which is usually summertime. And when I'm doing my outside summer stuff, I lose interest in my spiders for some reason. I don't know. I get this strong urge in the fall to buy spiders. In the spring, I get rid of them. I don't know what it is. I love spiders. I just don't have the patience to watch them grow. So I'm hoping that since I'll be spending a lot of time down here in the basement with my ball pythons, that I can probably make a nice little area to put some tarantulas too and get my spider thing going again. Also, you can't see it now, but I have a nice big 40-gallon tank down here. I have mice in it now, but at some point I would love to get some yellow Uromastyx. I love Uromastyx. It's just something I've always liked. I think they're a little more interesting than bearded dragons as far as the way they look. They look more prehistoric, I think. They look less lizardish and more Tyrannosaurus Rex-ish, but down on the floor, you know. It's just something about them I like better. There's a number of things I want to get into. Ball pythons will definitely be my number one here, but I could definitely see myself getting into a few more things, and we'll see how this channel grows. I really hope to, if you hear some squeaking, I got my first mouse that gave birth, and she gave birth yesterday, and she has not eaten her babies yet, so I'm really happy about that. So, but anyway, introduction-wise, I want to give a shout out to a few people. Like I said, my brother for helping me get started again here in 2021. Some of the big guys I watched on YouTube, like I said, Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons, Blind Strike Exotics, another good channel to watch, Predator BP. There's more, I just can't remember the names, you know what I mean? Like, who else is out there? The guy Justin, JKR Reptiles. Man, these guys really taught me and showed me, gave me ideas about the business side and how to start my collection, you know, and how to start it correctly. So I'm trying to set off on the right foot here with what I'm collecting. Balls to You is another one. Freedom Breeder's another one. Brian, another one. Just there's so many out there that you can watch, you know, that taught me and gave me info on how to build racks and how to, you know, get started with the hobby correctly. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video. I don't like having my videos too long, but I want to give an introduction to myself. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.